So I'm in the middle of a twerk Pilates session and my mind is just going. And if I don't take a second to say this now, I'll forget. So if you're repeating a cycle over and over again and you can't figure out what is going on and why you're reverting back to these patterns, you need to figure out what it is that you're not learning. So if you keep starting over and then you keep going out with friends and then over drinking or overspending and then you end up right back where you were before, you need to ask yourself, what can you do differently to prevent yourself from going back to those patterns? Do you need to change your friends? Or maybe you need to just change how you budget or change how you spend or change how you drink or change your frequency. Are you doing something over and over again and maybe when it comes to parenting, you're saying the same thing over and over again, but maybe it's how you're saying it. Maybe it's the tone of voice. Maybe it's your perspective. Maybe it's your attitude. So changing one little thing can sometimes impact your results greatly. So maybe you're doing the same workout over and over again, but maybe you just need the slightest little change, which is going to change everything. So maybe the slightest little change in body alignment will change the workout in its entirety. Maybe the slightest little change in your voice or the slightest change in perspective or awareness or intention will change everything dramatically. So maybe you don't need to change overall, but maybe you do. Only you will know the answers. And the only way you can get those answers for yourself is by asking yourself the right questions, evaluating yourself. It's not always about asking other people because sometimes other people's opinions come so far from left field it doesn't even make sense. But it's good to gather all the information and make the best choice for yourself and then see what you come up with. And I can guarantee you, if you care enough, if you're wise enough, if it's important enough to you, if it matters enough to you, if there is a will, there is a way. So if there is a will to make your body work, there is a fucking way. If there is a will to get somebody to hear you, there is a way. If there is a will to get through to your child, there is a way. If there is a will to still be in a relationship with somebody, there is a way. As long as you're willing to put in the work. And if it's dealing with another individual, they have to be willing also. It always takes two. It always takes two. It always takes two. So, food for thought, y'all. And one last thing to add to that, if it's in regards to a relationship or a friendship, if that other person is just not willing to see you for who you are or work with you or talk with you or be honest with you or themselves, then you gotta just, close the door and walk away or let things be as they are, because you cannot waste your own precious, valuable time on individuals who are committed to misunderstanding you. And for the people out there who keep chasing somebody who doesn't want them, if they don't want you, don't chase them. Don't chase them. Go find somebody who wants you. You deserve to be with somebody who wants you. Don't try to make the wrong people want you. That doesn't make any sense at all. None. Be with somebody who brings out the bright lights in you. Don't chase. For everybody getting all jealous and weird on social media is a place for connecting and networking and meeting people that you might not have access to in your daily life or in your daily circle. Maybe it's a great way to view other perspectives and hear other opinions, but that doesn't mean everybody knows everything about everything, and that is why there is enough room for everybody. There is enough room for everybody. Because everybody has different experiences and different circumstances and different relatabilities and different variables. And it's important to learn from everybody, and it's important to share. The world and human consciousness is a collection of intel and knowledge. And if you're open to it, if you're aware of yourself, if you're willing to tap in internally, you can tap into the cosmos and you can just get so much more out of your life and add so much more value to those you engage with. If you're on the internet complaining like, oh, I can't lose weight, or oh, this, that, and the other, but then you're going out with your friends every weekend and you're sabotaging your success, and then all of a sudden you're going down in the rabbit hole and then you're like all discombobulated, get fucking healthy. Get healthy, boo. Get healthy. Quit doing that. Quit drinking for a while. Quit going out and partying for a while. Tune into yourself. Yeah, life is about living and experiencing, but you can do that through fitness and health and healthy activities. It doesn't always have to be like getting wasted. Like, you can still go out with your friends without getting wasted. You can still connect without sabotaging. And every time you do something that's a negative and a takeaway from your body and your spirits, it puts you back. It backtracks you. You want to be making progress forward. So do things and connect with people and enjoy life in ways that makes you positive forward. You literally have everything and reason in the world to complain about so many things. And I try my fucking hardest not to. And I have my weak moments, especially when, when I'm around a lot of people who are just breathing negativity and toxicity all up in my space. That makes it very challenging. But you know what I do? I try to bring awareness to what they're doing. I try to say, hey, you know what? You're doing this, and that, and this is the results that are coming from that toxic whatever that you're doing. To bring awareness and attention and intent to what it is that's happening, so that way the whole entire environment can level up together. Not because I even want to do that or waste my energy doing that or my time doing that, but because I don't want to complain and be stuck in a place that I'm unhappy. So I do something about it. You can't do something about it in a drastic way, then take small little actions to make your circumstances or your environment or whatever it is you're dealing with better. So whether that's in your home environment, whether that's at your workspace, whether that's with your family, whatever it is, start making those changes. If it's with your own health, start making those changes. Start cutting out the bad food, or start having the hard conversations, or start learning about how to have the hard conversations, whether that be the hard conversations with yourself. Because if you can have the hard conversations with yourself and look in the mirror and be real with who you are, then you're never going to be able to do it with somebody else. And that's all there is to it. Because showing up vulnerable and being able to take accountability for you and yourself and being real and honest takes strength and courage. And not everybody is capable of that. And you know what? Everybody should be. And in my opinion, if you're parenting right, if you're educating right, if you're leading right, then that is something that should be established at a very young age. Teaching your child to be honest with themselves. Teaching your child to hold themselves accountable. Teaching your child not to take the easy way out. Teaching your child to be vulnerable with themselves, to be honest with themselves, and creating a safe space to where they can do so. And then in turn, doing that with your spouse. Doing that with your business partners, doing that with your family. And if people can't do that with you, then they aren't the right people for you. And if they can't, then maybe teach them. Set the example. Social media is a great thing for all of those things, but it's not a great place for judgment and trolls. Whatever that negativity is, that shit has got to go. It has got to go. Who's trying and taking action and is dedicated is so much more valuable than somebody who's just going through life and they're like, well, I have all this money in the bank and I'm just going through life and I'm just having fun and I'm drinking and pissing my life away. And and I see so many coaches who just, it's like, yeah, they have great valuable information. They only practice half of it, or they're not setting a true example of what they want. And that's so easy for all of us to do. I mean, there's no reason to judge anybody by what they are or what they aren't doing yet, because life is a balancing, juggling act for everybody. And judging anybody on their preference of clothes or music or attire or work or what they do in their own personal space, in their own personal time, is just not the way. Now, I'm not judging people who are drinking, but I'm saying take accountability for yourself. You're somebody who likes to go out and drink occasionally and it doesn't affect your life in a negative way, and you can handle yourself and you can get up the next day and you can take care of your life. Good for you, man. Good for you. I mean, I drank once in the past 2 years, but I'm not somebody who struggles with that. I prioritize being on top of my life and feeling good and being healthy over wasting, 2 days because I wanted to have a couple drinks and let loose with somebody and then it got out of hand. That's not for me. But I mean, if I was gonna party, I would plan well in advance and it would be planned out. I would have days taken off. I'm not no impromptu, let's go get wasted type of person. Those days are long over. I'm not saying I'm upset that I had them when I was younger. I had a few, but I'm just saying you live and you learn, right? It's all about elevating and leveling up. You know what? You can bet your ass I teach this to my son. You can bet your ass these feels that I'm giving are all things that my son would be like, I know. Now, is he perfect? No. Does he sometimes forget? And I'm like, where is my child? Who are you right now? Yes. But do I give up? No. Do I find a different way to try to give him the knowledge? Yes. Do I send him different knowledge or different speeches I find on the internet that I feel could maybe help or benefit a young mind of a 16-year-old young man? Absolutely. Because that is my job as a parent. Do I email the teachers? Yeah, all of them. I am always emailing the school. I am always spreading information and awareness and knowledge. Because when I get disappointed with lack of quality, I'm just like, all right, what the hell? This is your job. Do it right. And yeah, some of my stuff may sound contradicting or whatever, but I'm just not slowing down enough and using the right vocabulary because I'm just so passionate and very much in the moment with this feel right now. But the point is, it's yeah, maybe they're not doing their jobs wrong, but maybe they're not doing their jobs as due diligently as they could be, or as effectively, or as intentionally that they could be. And, human error. But at the same time, that's why being in a position that you're passionate about matters. So if you're going to be a teacher, be passionate about actually teaching and making a difference to everybody. If you're going to be a leader, be passionate about it. If you're going to be into fitness, be passionate about it. Whatever it is you're going to do, be fucking passionate about it. Otherwise, it's eventually going to show, and then everybody's going to be at a loss who you're giving info to. I personally refuse to do things I'm not passionate about. Refuse. Because I know it will make me unhappy, and then everything in my life will suffer. My relationship with myself will suffer, my relationship with my child will suffer, my relationship with everything will suffer if I'm doing things that I am not passionate or happy about. Living somewhere I'm not happy about, everything suffers, and I'm aware of that, and I try my best to work around that. I've always been passionate about doing hair when I was a hairdresser. I've always been passionate about being a parent. I've always been passionate about fitness and modeling and physical activity and health and fitness and beauty and cosmetics and design and art and architecture and so many things. And I feel very grateful and fortunate because not everybody is passionate and has that zest and hunger for life like I do. And, I just hope everybody finds it.